Their here and now is, what do we got to do to sell a car? Okay, so we'll lie to them to get the people in, and then we'll put them in a car, and we'll send them home in the car that they might not have wanted, but they're going home in a car.
You know what I did this morning, Dad?
It looks like you combed your hair.
I combed my hair and I cleaned my apartment. I mean, things are looking up for me.
Yeah, well, you got to be out of the apartment in less than a month. Yeah, you might as well start cleaning it up now.
And I've got one more rent payment to make. And the reason that I'm able to make that rent payment is because of our dear, kind, thoughtful friends over at findthebestcarprice.com/insider. Link down below in the description. Aggregating, like squirrels aggregate nuts in the winter. Is that how you said it?
Well, I don't know. They either find nuts or bury nuts, one of the two.
Well,
it's
now
all
they
nuts
aggregate.
to me.
They aggregate them nowadays because they
these
took
are
the
special
SATs.
Squirrels.
Yeah, special squirrels. Are we going to be able to bill for this one? I'm not sure at this point. But Jeff's aggregating stuff, incentives, things like that. Click the link down below. They've got a buyer's guide, all that fun stuff. We appreciate their ongoing support.
So you're able to pay your rent next month because of Jeff?
Yeah.
Well, where the hell was he when you were living with me?
That's a good question. That's a good question. All right, so today's video, Dad, we're talking about a really unfortunate but all too common experience that car buyers have. I received a few emails. I think you may have even been CC'd on them. And then I was perusing and browsing Reddit. And on Reddit, someone shared a story of essentially a bait and switch. And really what happened is these car buyers, these people are in the market, okay, and they find a vehicle near them, and then they find a vehicle similar, but it's like, I don't know, a 2 or 3 hour drive away. And the dealer near them says, hey, the price is the price. And the dealer 2 or 3 hours away says the price is actually $2,000 less. Then that car buyer goes to get the $2,000. I mean, I drive 2 hours, 3 hours to save $2,000. I get it. They get it to the dealership, and well, it's got $2,000 worth of add-ons and accessories. And oh, I forgot to mention this fee and that fee. And these car buyers, these stories, and I'll put some up on the screen, they just end up feeling really betrayed and misled and upset about the whole situation. Obviously, they wouldn't have driven 2-3 hours away to go to this dealership if they had known that the price was actually the same price, if not even more. Or, better yet, the car is not even available anymore because, well, the car never was actually available. So can you please counsel us on how we can avoid making those types of mistakes and save the aggravation and the headache and just the frustration of going down that path?
Better Business Bureau. Go to the Better Business Bureau, see what kind of rating the out-of-state or out-of-town dealer has that you're potentially going to do business with. Get a sense of who they are and how they operate before you commit to doing something like buying a car from them. There are ways to find out what the reputation of a business is in a given area by utilizing the Better Business Bureau. There's usually consumer protection agencies within states. You can find out if there's any actions against the dealership that you're looking at by perhaps contacting the consumer protection agency in that state. Listen, a lot of dealers are unscrupulous. And it's not just car dealers. I mean, there's a lot of businesses that are unscrupulous. And they'll say things in order to get you there. One of the reasons that a dealer would have you drive 3 hours to break it to you gently when you get there that the price really is higher or the vehicle that you were looking at really isn't there anymore and got sold is because they figure, well, once you're there, you're captive. And you're not going to want to drive 3 hours back home without at least having accomplished something. So they'll take the shot of trying to put you into a different car or trying to get you to understand why you need to pay the price that's suddenly $2,000 higher than what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and I think, just to wave the flag, we all know why they're doing it, right? And honestly,
we do?
Yeah, like we get it, right? Everyone that's watching, they get it. How do you protect yourself? I understand the Better Business Bureau, and I understand, online reviews and things like that. But where my head immediately jumped, and counsel me, it's this the wrong way to think about it, is if your call. Okay, first is if it's too good to be true, then it's too good to be true. It's the car business. If it's $2,000 less, it's the same exact vehicle. It's not $2,000 less. Sorry, right? Like that's what immediately comes to mind for me.
Yeah. Well,
the second thing is the out the door
yes.
price. Like they're quoting you, not the out the door price. That's how they're saying it's $2,000 less, and that's why it sounds like the same record on repeat every single time we make a video. But OTD, OTD, OTD. Unless they're, and then a lot of dealers won't even give you the out the door price. They'll say, well, you have to come in to get the out the door price. And you've written the email templates to help us actually combat that. So those are the two things that come to mind for me outside of the BBB. What do you think about those as tactics to protect ourselves?
Well, obviously you need to get an out the door price before you agree to be traveling. I know when we did our concierge service, and
which we no longer do. So please, just understand.
So folks, don't even think about approaching us and asking us to go negotiate a car deal for you. We don't do that anymore. And the reason we don't do that anymore is it was just too many of you needed help. We could not provide the level of customer service that we think somebody should be entitled to when we work for them. So we're trying to do it through videos and free advice.
And let's actually, sorry, I just want to hit on that. My dad, before I pulled him into all this, was retired, legitimately retired. So now I get him for like 15 to 20 hours a week versus when we were doing that business. It was like a 15-hour work day. It was insane. So in case you have more questions, you can email about questions if you have questions about that. But yeah, anyway, back to protecting yourself. Sorry, Dad.
So anyway, I would negotiate on behalf of customers via email, via phone, get a written out the door number, make arrangements to get a deposit to hold the vehicle. And we had a couple of situations where we made the arrangements. The people showed up. Everything went the way it was supposed to go. So part of it is making sure that there's a car, that the car really exists. Get the VIN number. Do your due diligence on that particular vehicle. Do your due diligence on the dealer. Get an out the door number, including all fees. All fees. Get a breakdown. What's the selling price, and then what are all the fees, and what's a breakdown of every one of the fees, and are every one of those fees legitimate fees, so that you know exactly what the numbers should be before you get in your car and put the key in the ignition and turn it on.
And if you don't know what a legitimate versus illegitimate fee is, go to deal school. It's all coming to me actually right now. How do you not get screwed over driving 3 hours? You do the 2-hour deal school, and then you know what you're getting into. Like, invest 2 hours in deal school and in, going through the section about how to negotiate a car deal and focusing on out the door price and knowing what the fee, if it's taxable, it's negotiable. Like, do that.
The out the door price is the selling price of the car that you have agreed upon, plus all fees that the dealer charges, including state and motor vehicle fees, less any rebates that you might be getting from the manufacturer.
And yes, it's a 2-hour investment of your time, but then it saves you that 3-hour headache of driving, because the dealers will take, I get it. I totally get it. If you can get someone captive that drove 3 hours, you're right. They're going to buy the damn car. They're going to be pissed off, but they're going to still buy the damn car.
They're going to buy a damn car. It might not be the damn car that they drove there to buy, but they'll buy a car because they don't want to have wasted a total of 6 hours, which will probably become 8 to 10 or 12 hours of their life, and not come home with a new car. It takes a lot of discipline on someone's part to say, hey, you're screwing me. This is all bait and switch. I'm just getting into my car and going home. Most people won't do that. There's a handful of people who will, but most people won't. And they'll get talked into buying a different car, and they'll swear they'll never go back to that dealer again. And that dealer's okay with that because, they just sold a car. And they're not looking 2 to 3 years down the road to have you as a repeat customer or for you to have referred another customer to them. They're looking at the here and now. and their here and now is, what do we got to do to sell a car? Okay, so we'll lie to them to get the people in, and then we'll put them in a car, and we'll send them home in the car that they might not have wanted, but they're going home in a car.
So don't let yourself get in that position is what comes to mind for me is, yeah, if anything else, yeah, I agree. Look at Better Business Bureau, look at Yelp reviews, Google reviews, but at the end of the day, if you can't get someone to give you the out the door price via email or phone call, preferably via email because it's written down, don't go. Just don't.
No.
Don't get in the car. Don't drive there. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, any dealer can say to you, hey, my boss will work with you once you get here. Okay, that's great. I need your boss to work with me before I get there. And if they won't do that, go find a different boss or a different dealership. Last time I checked, there's 17,000 new car dealerships. There's 30-some thousand dealerships, including new and used and mom and pop and whatever else.
Even more, Dad. Even more. There's so many.
Yeah. So go somewhere else where they will work with you, where they will accommodate your desires, where they will answer your questions and provide you with the information that you need. You have the ultimate leverage, and it's a 2-letter word. No. If they won't give you the information, say, nope, I'm not coming. Sorry. It's pretty simple.
It's simple, but it's also really hard, and I empathize with everyone because, I mean, the times I've bought cars, you were right there with me telling me to say no or telling me to say yes. So I get why people want you behind their back to support them, that they can like turn over their shoulder and be like, oh, okay, Ray says this is good, Ray says this is bad. We're working on the tech side so we can help actually do that. But in the interim, you can't get a written quote with everything included. So, see you later.
Can you create a hologram of me or whatever, and I can actually be
you're getting cocky.
on somebody's shoulder? Yeah, that would be way cool.
Be super cool, Dad. Well, we'll see what we can do. In the interim, we'll keep working on what we're working on. How about that?
Okay. That works for me.
All right, Pops. So I appreciate your time on this subject, and something tells me that we'll probably have some follow-up questions from people in the comments down below. So we'll be talking about this more, I'd imagine.
As long as I'm alive, I'm sure we'll be talking about this.
I'll have to speed up the hologram work if you're anticipating something else. But you look good, you sound good, and I think you feel good, so.
I do, and go Cards! Go Cards!
All right, Pops, thanks.
Sorry. Love you, handsome. Talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.